Hello, this is my submission to the third Cursed Conlang Circus hosted by Agma Schwa. A lot of times when I see people trying to make a cursed language, they go to the synthetic side of linguistics, often stuffing their language with a lot of grammatical cases, tenses, moods, and other forms. So I attempted to direct my lingua engineering side towards the analyticism. So I created a language that I would call not just analytic or isolating, but hypoanalytic. Wie du the moes nun for ihu. The vowel phonemes of the language are I, U, U, E, O, and A. The consonants of the language are M, N, Ng, P, B, T, D, K, G, F, Th, Th, S, Z, Sh, J, H, T, D, J, J, Y, L, R, L, H, W, Y. To write the language, a variation of the Cyrillic script is used. There are a total of 50 letters, and as any other Cyrillic-based alphabet, this one has a tradition of handwriting in cursive. To describe how each letter is pronounced, they are organized in tables of 4 rows. In the first row, there are letters, next phonemes and allophones, and last the romanization. Let's start with vowels. A, E, O, I, U, U. Note that in the romanization Y and W are vowels. Next are semivowels y, y, w. In both writing and romanization, a brief is added to the letter of the corresponding close vowel. Approximants are used the same way as consonants. Here are the next ones. M, N, Ng, P, T, K, B, D, G, F, H. These are pretty normal consonants with pretty unnormal romanization. G is used for ng. P, T, and C are used for the voiced consonants, and doubled they are used for the voiceless. PH and CH are used for the fricatives. Then there are absolutely normal sibilants S, T, Sh, Ch, Z, D, J, and J with absolutely consistent romanization. Our final consonants are Th, V, L, R, and Ch. You know, when a semivowel is followed by a vowel, in Cyrillic scripts it's often represented as one letter. The same applies to this language, though not all combinations have their own letter and not all of them are even allowed in the first place. Finally, there are tones. By default, it's middle tone, us, hon. If a letter called falling sign is added to the syllable, it acquires falling tone, beep, shu. If a letter called rising sign is added to the syllable, it acquires rising tone, mai, ja. In romanization, either diacritics or superscript digits are used. Since I made a hypoanalytic language, there's no morphology at all, so let's go straight into the syntax. Meaningful units in the language usually consist of 2 parts, L part and R part. In fact, it's 1 morph per 2 words, which makes the ratio of morphs per words be below 1, the theoretical minimum for natural languages. There are some operations you can do to use these morphs in a sentence. The first operation is called gluing. It's basically saying or writing the 2 parts consecutively. A more complex operation is binding. It takes 2 morphs or syntax subtrees and creates a subtree by surrounding the L part of the head with both parts of the dependent. Usually it's translated as a possessive or a genitive phrase like dos lu, which means cat's tail. But it's also a way to apply adjectives and adverbs. Now we can look at the sentence structure. Does it follow any of the natural word orders? No. In fact, it's AL, VL, AR, SL, SR, VR, and the language is syntactically ergative. The verb viumur, that means to sleep, also has a grammatical role. It can turn transitive verbs from ergative voice to antipassive. Here are some examples. The verbs can also be used as nouns that are also known as gerunds, though you need to be careful with their ergative nature. To form a doer or a doing of an action, you have to bind the respective word sis with a gerund. This is also a way to translate some complex nouns like vampire. Now we move to transpositions. They are actually similar to prepositions or postpositions, but they're kinda not actually pre-opposed. For example, a transposition of location in bas, when bound to a noun of some location, forms a syntax subtree that functions as an adjective or an adverb. A transposition of subject patient Zoom rules can be used to substantivate whole sentences. There's a special way to say to be something. Grammatically, it functions as an intransitive verb. The next interesting operation is called swapping. It asks a yes-no question about a specific part of a sentence. Here are some examples. Note that no question marks are used. For asking open questions, there are special questioning words. The final operation is called appending. One or more one-word morphs are added after the L part to mean something. It can be a definite article, a tense, or a numeral. The language uses the balanced ternary system that treats positive and negative numbers equally. Significant digits are sequenced from largest by absolute value to lowest. Additionally, there are some pronumerals. To use them in a sentence, they must be appended to one of these morphs. Then those morphs are bound with a noun to form a phrase. If the numeral is the head, then it's a cardinal numeral. Otherwise, it's an ordinal numeral. Then we have conjunctions that can have their L parts be repeated several times. Finally, we have additional features like direct speech that has an exceptional form when glued, and a parenthesis. Now we finally got to the translation part. Here's the original text. It has 4 main sentences and a parenthesis. Let's simplify it a bit and we get this. Here's the syntax tree for the first sentence. As a formula, it looks like this. The first sentence is read this way. Here's the syntax tree of the second sentence. It's surely larger than the previous tree. And here's how it sounds. Yes, et zumbar urus filar shen viusa koyer mursis Now look at how large the third sentence is. The two things worth noting here are parentheses and a conjunction. Here's how it sounds. Tu yes shum the mak zum shu na rus na us son nai lar zum pang mak thou ja shu rus o ho us la zum koing mak thou bip wis shu rus wa Compared to the third sentence, the fourth is much simpler. Here's how it sounds. Tu yes shum the zum ta nai zel lar nai pa te I hope that I did a very good job in creating a cursed language. Thank you for watching this video until the end. Goodbye.